All right, I am recording the video for my final project. Please excuse any noises. I am at work with first and second graders who are currently on recess, having free play, so it is a little noisy. For my final project, I decided to create a spring break rental booking portal. This program is pretty much going to be ideal for college students who are currently, on spring break, and they're going to be looking, to share costs of group trips. Okay, I thought that was just very fitting and very fitting and very current. Right now we're in spring break recess, kids are traveling, so I just thought this was spot on and perfect, way to a perfect real world example. All right, so let's get into our program. Our program, what it does is it's going to gather user input. So the user input it will gather is going to be the rental type, the number of days that our people are going to be traveling, the number of people traveling, as well as the daily price. It's then going to calculate an average total, and it's going to divide the cost amongst the parties of the attendees that is going to be attending the trip. All right, let's get right into our program. Of course, we start off with our IO stream in string libraries. It's going to, of course, allow our program to display the information to our screen, receive input from our user, and, of course, store our text values, which is why we have our strings, okay? Next, we're going to be using our using namespace. Of course, that allows us to use our in and out, put statements without, all of the additional prefixes, okay, the STD. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come down here and we are going to create a variable. This variable is going to be named max people. It is going to be created and then set to 10. This allows us to limit the number of people that our program can enter. So if it's 1 to 10 people, everything's going to be great. 12 or more, however, 11 more, we will experience issues, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to create our first function. All right, we're going to call this function calculate total cost. This function is pretty much going to receive the price per day and the number of days for the rental. Inside of our function, we are going to create a variable. This variable, we're going to call it total cost, and it's going to pretty much the program is going to multiply the daily price by the number of days, and it's going to store it into this variable. All right, the function will return the value. Now we come down, we're going to create another function. All right, this function is going to be calculate cost per person. This function will receive the total cost of the rental. It's going to also get the number of people in the group, and it's going to divide that cost by the number of people and return that amount so each party know how much they're going to pay. All right. Our next function is going to be called, we're going to create another function. It's going to be called display people. This function is going to receive an array of names and the number of people entered, okay? It's going to use a for loop to go through each of those elements in the array, and then it's going to display the names of the people that are going to be attending the trip, okay? Now we're going to come down. We're going to have our main function. This is where the actual, program begins to actually run, okay? Inside the main function, there's going to be several variables that we're going to have to create. We're going to have a variable rental type, of course, that's going to store whether the user chooses a beach house or a boat. We have another variable we're going to create called price per day. Guys, level 1 voices. We're going to have another variable called price per day, and that is going to store the daily rental cost. A new variable that we're going to have is the number of days, and that's pretty much going to just store, it's going to store how long the rental lasts. All right. The variable number of people is going to store the number of people that is going to be attending the trip. All right. An array named people names is going to be used. It's going to be created and used, and we're going to use that to store the number of people joining the trip. Okay. The program is going to display the spring break, rental calculator, and the program is then going to ask the user to enter the rental type, of course, our daily price, the number of days that they're going to be staying, and then the number of people attending the trip. We are now going to create a for loop. All right, I am back. My phone died. So we'll just go back down to our for loop. I think that's where we left off at. So again, we're going to create a for loop. Our for loop is pretty much going to run based on the number of people we enter. So example, if we entered 4 people, it's going to run 4 times. Pretty much that loop is going to ask the person, it's going to ask the program for the name of the person and store that information and store the names into our array titled that we created called people array. All right, after all of our numbers have been entered, our program is going to call our function calculate total cost, and that's going to determine the total cost of our rental. Next, we're going to call on the function calculate cost per person. That is going to determine how much each person is going to pay, of course. Our program would then call on our display people function, and what that's going to do is that function is going to print the list of people that is going to be attending the trip. Finally, the program is going to display the rental type, the total cost of rental, as well as the amount of the amounts that each person will be paying. Okay, finally the program will end returning our 0, which means that the program has ran successfully. So we're gonna go ahead, I've already ran the program. We're gonna put in our type. We're gonna start off, let's try beach house. We're gonna say $400. Let's say the trip is 3 days, and we are going to say 4 people is going to attend this trip. Okay, so we have the first person, who is Alex. Our second person is going to be Maria. Next we're going to do Chris. Oh, sorry about that. And then we're gonna have Jordan. So we have 4 people attending our trip. It tells us that our rental type is a beach house. Our total cost is $1,200. There's 4 of us going, so that is going to be divided $300 a piece. So this program, again, it is ideal for college students. It solves the real world problem. College students are currently out on spring break recess. They're looking to vacation, and yeah, this helps with that. So thank you.